And we're back here on Open. Well, September is Life Insurance Month. Now, it's a difficult topic to talk about, but it's important to have life insurance to secure the financial future of your loved ones. Joining us now is Dolores Batista, Allstate insurance agent, and we welcome you to the show. Good to have you.
Good to be here, really, and thank you for having me.
We've known each other for years, and this is like, new.
It's like old home week.
Yes.
My son learned his craft here with you and Max and Gary and all these people, and he's still, even though he's doing something different,
right,
he still does filming and editing and for Fit Body Boot Camp where he works, and he loves it,
Yeah.
I wanted him to go into my profession, maybe pass the baton to him, but
no,
that's not for him.
It's not for him. But
No.
let's talk about what's for you. You're doing life insurance and you're helping people with life insurance. As we said in the intro, it's a really tough decision or thing to talk about for a lot of people.
Yeah, my mission is to talk to everybody about life insurance. People always put it in the back burner because they don't like to talk about dying, exactly what you said. But it's important because we all have a number, and I hope we all live to be 100, but sometimes that doesn't happen, as you well know. Not too long ago, I had a client who was healthy, didn't smoke, was, and married with 2 kids, and he died of a heart attack, 45 years old.
Wow.
Fortunately, I had talked him persuaded him to buy a life insurance policy. So I was able to give his widow not $100,000, $1 million. He was
Awesome.
insured for $1 million. And when you have small children, it sounds like a lot of money, but he had a mortgage and talking about educating children, you know how much that costs. So it's important, and I think it's so important to protect the things that you have. So I always talk about renter's insurance and insuring your apartment as well. I mean, it costs less than maybe $1 a day, to insure your stuff. And we were talking about NYCHA before, and sometimes people tell me, I live in NYCHA, I don't need apartment insurance. Everything in your house, everything in your apartment belongs to you, and if you had to replace it, where do you get the money? I mean, they have, there's a fire. The company will actually give you money to stay at another apartment, another hotel for up to a year. Usually Red Cross will put you up for 2 nights and then you have to look for some place to go.
If you're lucky, right.
Yeah, so, and you don't want to end up, just even in a shelter with your family. I mean, that can happen when people don't have family and friends to help them out.
So give me this, because some people say, I don't want to enter the life insurance. It's too expensive. It's too costly.
Actually, the insurance that I was telling you about, that $1 million policy, was costing maybe about $500 a year. It was term insurance, which he had hoped to convert to permanent insurance. Term insurance is like renting an apartment. Permanent insurance, life insurance, is like buying a house. So you're investing, and it costs more, but you're also accumulating cash value. So, and you can borrow that money later on or use it for a child's education. I mean, there are a lot of different ways. Or you can have term and permanent insurance at the same time. I think you have to find somebody that you trust. A lot of people that I know just never really found anybody that they felt comfortable with. I'm with a great company. I've been with them for over 30 years. I was the first Latina hired in the Bronx back in the day. So I just love what I do. And people are always asking me when I'm going to retire, and I tell them never, because I mean, when you love what you're doing, you might as well just keep doing what you're doing, So
what are some of the common things that people must know about life insurance?
Well, I always tell people they should get life insurance when they're young, because it costs less. The older you get, the more it's going to cost you. While you're still healthy, because if you you start getting a heart condition or cancer or something like that, you're not going to be insurable. And that can happen with people at any time. We also have something called Allstate benefits, which are supplemental benefits that organizations can offer their employees, so that if, let's say there's 50 employees in a company and about 12% of the employees decide that they want the life insurance or the other critical illness insurance, for example, they can get that and with no medical. So it gives employees an opportunity, employers to give an opportunity to their employees to buy coverage for themselves, even though they may not be eligible under normal circumstances. So there are no medical questions. I think we just have to be realistic and know that we have to prepare. And if you love your family, in fact, I don't call it life insurance, I call it love insurance. Because if you love your family, you want to make sure that they're going to be okay, even if you are not around.
Right. And we find, sadly enough, a lot of people transition and don't have insurance.
Yeah, and then, it's like getting a collection, just even to have a funeral.
GoFundMe. We see a lot of people
GoFundMe, right? And, but then what happens after that? I can give you an example of a couple who didn't have children. They were both earning big bucks, well over $200,000 a year. He died, and then their life changed because that salary was gone, so now they're living on half. Then she lost her job and was out of work for several months, and it really impacted them, impacted her. She couldn't keep her apartment, I mean, so people don't think that these things are going to happen, but they do, and I've been in the business for a long time, so I've seen a lot of things happen, and I know that you have to prepare financially,
So if somebody's out there watching right now and says, listen, I hear you, I'm convicted, how do I get started?
All you have to do is make a phone call. If you call my office or an agent that you already know, call them and talk about, just get a little bit of information about life insurance. And just with your little bit of information, we'd be able to give you an idea of what it would cost you and, find out how much you need, So. Just call an agent, call me, and find out.
We'll make sure the information is at the bottom of the screen. And certainly want to thank you for coming in. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Daren. Really, it was great seeing you. You don't change.
No, I've aged a little bit. We've been here for.
No. You're looking great.
We've known people for years. They say that, but no, we've been here for a minute. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All righty, listen, everybody. I want to let you know unfortunately we have come to the end of our show today, but want to thank our guests for joining us, all of them, and most of all, you, the viewer, now for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, what you can do is you can catch the Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum's Channel 67. And then, if you have Verizon Files, of course, you check us out on Channel 33. Anytime, though, the World Wide Web at BronxNet.org. You can find out about Open and a whole lot of other shows. For all of us here on the set of Open, I'm Daren Jaime saying take care, God bless. Also, a big shout out to those who are watching on the M&N channel. And listen, we'll see you soon. Friday, as a matter of fact, fresh new episode of Open. Rena Valentine will bring it to you. Take care, everybody.